This is Dr. Holt. I want to go over, this is I think problem 49. Alright, my problem 49 looks like this. Yours is probably going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go through these 4 questions. The first one is, what is the velocity at 1 second? Alright, what couple things you want to note here. You know your initial position is going to be 30 and your initial velocity is going to be -7. Alright, so how do you find your velocity at 1 second? First thing you want to do is, I'll go ahead and shade this in, is you want to find out how much area is under your curve of your velocity versus time graph between 0 and 1. So all I'm going to have to do is figure out what this area is right in through here. This is just this area right in here. So if I was going to calculate that area, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, my height is going to be -8. I'm going to go over 1. This area here is going to give me a -8. But I would start out at a -7, so it'd be -8 minus 7, and that's going to give me -15. So the velocity here would be, in this case, -15 meters a second. Again, your answer probably is going to be different than this. If it should ask you, for example, and I don't on this one, what was the speed would be 15 meters a second, not negative, because the speed is always the absolute value of the velocity. Alright, so I'll go ahead and erase this. Give yourself some more room. Now the second one's a little bit harder, but just follow along what I'm going to do here. The second one says, what is the position at 1 second? Alright, what you're going to have to do with this is draw yourself a velocity versus time graph, and I'm going to go ahead and draw mine. We'll do something a little bit rough. We'll come over here. Alright, now we're starting at -7. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put like little tick marks, and I'm going to say, oh, this value here, well, that'll be -7. So that's where I'm starting. Again, this is a velocity versus time graph. I'm starting at -7. Now we've already said that this area here is going to be -8, correct? Because we calculate that. That's going to be -8 times 1. That's -8. So all I'm going to have to do here is draw this down here. I'm going to label this point right here being 1 second. And then, so I'm going to come straight across here. This mark here would be -15. It's -15. Well, we know that because we got it right here. But again, it's going to be -7 plus this area that's -15. Let me shut this thing off. So now what I want to do, I need to find out what this area is going to be. So I'm going to break this into shape like this. Something I can find out the area. So let's calculate this. We know the area right here is going to be -7 times 1, and that's -7 here. We know this is going to be 1/2 base times height. That's going to be 1. This height here, this part here, this triangle is going to be 15 minus 7. That's going to be 8. So -8 times 1 is going to be -8 divided by 2. That gives me -4. All right. So from this, we're going to ahead and draw our position versus time graph. Oops. Let me get a different one here. And we're going to start here. Okay. Now note, you're starting here, your initial position is going to be 30. So we know we're starting somewhere up above. I'll raise this on up. Alright, so we're going to just put a tick mark right here, and we'll make this 30. And again, this is position versus time. Starting at 30, and now we're going to start calculating area. Now we're losing area here, so that would be -7 plus -4. That's going to give me what? A -11. So I'm starting at 30. So 30 minus 11 would be where I'd be at 1 second. So 30 minus 11, that's going to give me a value about 19. So I come over here, I put a tick mark. Again, I don't care so much about what this curve is going to be shaped like. I'm just going to do something kind of like, let's see what we're going to do. We're losing area quickly. So just something like that. We know it's some type of parabola. So we know this value is going to be 19. So we put 19 here. Again, all I've taken is my initial position. I've subtracted out this area here. 30 minus this area 11 gives me a value of 19. So I'm going to be here. And actually, tell you what, I don't really care what the shape is. I'll just keep it like that because I'm not going to waste time and confuse you by the shape. We just know that that value right there is going to be 1 and at time equals 1. I'm going to be at 19. Alright, so now it says what's the velocity at 4 seconds? Well, if I want to find the velocity at 4 seconds, I need to find out what additional area I have. So let's get the highlighter. So 4 would be all the way over to here. So let's find out what the area is going to be. Alright, we know if this is -8, we can draw a line right down here, and we can make this also be -8, correct? Because we've gone down -8 and over 1. Or we could say this whole area here is -16. Now ask yourself, what is this area going to be? Well, this time interval is going to be 4, so that this base would be 2. My height would be -3, so this would be -6. All I have to do is add these two together. -8 plus -8, that's -16, plus that gives me -22, and I start out at -7, so all I really have to do is -7 minus, what did I say, -22, and that's going to give me a value of -29. So I know this has got to be -29. Sorry, raise it up a little bit. I'm going to move this one up too because it's kind of coming down here closer to number 3. Again, this will be -29. Alright, so I'm going to slide this position versus time graph kind of down, give myself a little bit of space, and I'll bring this down. Grab this too, bring this down with it. Alright, and I'll go ahead and erase that a little bit right there. Alright, so now let's go ahead and just draw what the rest of this velocity versus time graph is going to go out. We said we're at -15 here. We know that when we get to 4 seconds, we're going to be over at -29. So I'll come over here to make this roughly to be 4. I'll come down here and I say, well, I need to be around -29. So again, you're making estimates here. We make that -29. So all I need to do now is figure out what my curve is going to be. We know at we know here we lost another 8. So here we're at -15. So -15 minus 8 gives me -23. So all we really need to do now is extend this line down like this. So when this becomes t as 2, obviously it'd be -15 minus this gives me -23. I know right here I'm going to be at -23. Again, you can draw all these over just like that. Okay, now your slope's going to change. And you can look right here, the slope of this whole thing here is -8. And you could calculate that, and I promise you it's going to be -8. Alright, so now we say, well, the slope's going to change. This line that's going to go from here to here is going to have a slope of about -3. So kind of draw that. We know, so I'm off this a little bit. We'll come bring this up like this. And that value would be -29. This has a slope of, again, -3. So now all I have to do is to find my position at 4 seconds, I need to find out how much area under the curve I have. So I need to break that into shapes that I'm familiar with. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and clean this up here. I'm just going to make this into simpler shapes. You don't have to do this necessarily. keep the simple shapes, but yeah, I can keep that one. So I'm going to extend this on over. I'm going to go ahead and erase these areas, and we're going to just recalculate again. So now I ask myself, what is the area under the curve here? It's -7 times 2. That's going to give me a -14. What's the area here? Well, 23 minus the -7 here. How much? I'm asking for how much change did I go down? That went to what? That's 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 divided by 2. The area under that triangle would be -16. Now I got to figure this area. This height is 23. 23 times 2, that gives me -46. Now all I have to do is figure what this area is going to be. Now we know that this height has a 6 or -6 because I've gone from -23 to -29. It has a base of 2. 6 times 2 is going to be 12 divided by 2. That gives me 6. This will be negative area. So now to find my position at 4 seconds, I take my initial position, which is 30. And now all I have to do is add on this area. That's going to give me -30, -76, -82. Add -82 onto that. And that gives me a position of -52. So that's -52 meters. And that's all you got to do on this problem. Again, it's a challenging problem, but step through it methodically like I did. Start out calculating the areas. Go ahead and draw yourself a nice velocity versus time graph. And on your position versus time, you don't necessarily have to draw it. You can make a quick sketch just with some points here and work your way down, and you'll get exactly what I got here. All right, best of luck with this problem.